In the absolute dead center of the most hostile, unforgiving landscape on the planet, there are weather stations that have not recorded a single, solitary drop of rain in over 400 years. The surface here is so utterly toxic and devoid of moisture that NASA actively uses it as a testing ground for their Mars rovers. So the ultimate question is, how is it physically possible that a massive, lush, heavily forested oasis spanning thousands of acres is not only surviving here, but actually expanding and swallowing the desert? The answer will completely change how you view human engineering. This ecological miracle doesn't rely on rain from the sky. Instead, it is fueled by a massive, fossilized underground ocean of prehistoric water, combined with a masterclass in thermal biological terraforming. Today, we're going to tear open the ground and uncover the unbelievable science behind the Pica Oasis. Welcome to the exact coordinates of 20 degrees 29 minutes south, 69 degrees 19 minutes west. Sitting at an elevation of exactly 4,347 feet above sea level, buried deep within the Tamarugal province of the Tarapacá region in northern Chile, this is the Atacama Desert. And before we can even begin to understand how the people of Pica managed to hack nature, you first need to understand the sheer, terrifying scale of the geographic prison they are trapped inside. The Atacama Desert covers a sprawling expanse of roughly 40,000 square miles. To put that into perspective for an American audience, that is an entirely dead zone, roughly the exact same size as the entire state of Kentucky. But unlike the Mojave or the Sonoran deserts in the American Southwest, the Atacama is the victim of a freak meteorological anomaly known as a double rain shadow. To the east, the towering Andes Mountains act as an impenetrable fortress wall, completely blocking any moisture-rich storm systems originating in the Amazon rainforest. By the time the air makes it over the peaks, it has been stripped of every ounce of humidity. And to the west, the freezing Humboldt Current running up the Pacific coast cools the marine air so aggressively that it actively prevents the evaporation required to form rain clouds. The Atacama is caught in a planetary vice grip. It is blocked from the east and frozen out from the west. Geologists have discovered riverbeds in this desert that have been completely dry for over 120,000 years. The ground here isn't just normal sand. It is aggressively alkaline and laced with toxic heavy metals, salt, and perchlorates. Daytime temperatures routinely blast past 100 degrees Fahrenheit with 0% humidity, literally baking the moisture right out of your skin in minutes. Historically, the Pica Oasis was nothing more than a microscopic, incredibly fragile rest stop for indigenous nomads and later for the Spanish explorer Diego de Almagro when he marched his desperate men through this hellscape in 1536. For centuries, life here hung by a literal thread, sustained only by a few bubbling geothermal hot springs. But then came the late 1800s and the catastrophic nitrate boom. Thousands of miners flooded the Tarapacá region to strip mine the desert for saltpeter, which was used to make explosives and fertilizer. They rapidly drained the region's resources. Today, if you drive through this part of Chile, you will pass the rotting, rusty corpses of dozens of mining ghost towns, like the famous Humberstone ruins. Ghost towns that were swallowed whole by the blowing sand. Pica was supposed to share that exact same fate. With the global threat of climate change accelerating and massive deserts expanding across the world, a terrifying process known as desertification, Pica was statistically destined to dry up, blow away, and be forgotten. But the people of Pica made a conscious decision. They simply refused to let their home die. They realized that to beat the desert, they had to rewrite the rules of agriculture. And before we dive deep underground to see exactly how they engineered this impossible feat, if you are absolutely fascinated by earth science, massive logistical engineering, and the brilliant ways humanity is fighting to save our planet, take 1 second to hit that subscribe button down below. It tells the algorithm you love this kind of deep dive content, and it helps us keep making it for you. Alright, let's get back to the desert, because the real secret of Pica is hiding hundreds of feet beneath the sand. To grow a forest in a place with zero rainfall, you cannot look up to the sky. You have to look down. The first pillar of the Pica miracle is a staggering hydrological anomaly hidden deep within the earth. While the Andes Mountains are responsible for blocking the rain, those massive peaks, many soaring over 20,000 feet into the atmosphere, catch millions of tons of snow every winter. When that snow slowly melts during the summer, a fraction of it doesn't rush down the mountainside into rivers. Instead, it seeps directly into the porous, fractured volcanic bedrock of the mountains. Driven by gravity, this water embarks on a painfully slow journey underground, filtering through hundreds of miles of rock over the course of millennia. Eventually, this ancient fossilized water pools beneath the desert floor in what is known as the Pica Aquifer. But having a massive underground lake is completely useless if you drain it faster than the mountain can refill it. This is exactly what is happening right now in the United States. In places like California's Central Valley or along the heavily taxed Colorado River, industrial farming is pumping ancient groundwater so aggressively that the physical elevation of the land is actually sinking. If the farmers of Pica had tried to use traditional American flood irrigation, or those massive, sweeping pivot sprinklers you see flying over the Midwest, it would have triggered an instant catastrophe. In the 100-degree Fahrenheit heat of the Atacama, with its bone-dry winds, pumping water into the air means up to 50% of it evaporates before it ever even touches a single plant root. Furthermore, flooding the desert floor draws toxic salts up to the surface, permanently poisoning the soil in a process called salinization. To survive, the farmers of Pica had to treat water not like a renewable resource, but like liquid gold. Enter the second pillar of the miracle: hyper-precision micro-irrigation. The agricultural cooperatives in Pica instituted some of the strictest water management protocols on the planet. They completely abandoned traditional watering and blanketed the entire oasis in a massive, interconnected vascular system of specialized drip lines. Instead of measuring their water usage in hundreds of thousands of gallons, they measure it drop by drop. This system, powered by exact pressure regulators, delivers water directly to the base of each individual tree trunk. By feeding the plants directly at the subterranean root zone, they virtually eliminated all surface evaporation. The water never touches the open air long enough for the desert wind to steal it. This capillary action allows the roots to drink at a steady, natural pace. The sheer efficiency is mind-blowing. The entire Pica Oasis is currently growing a dense, commercial agricultural forest on a daily water budget that wouldn't even be enough to keep a single 18-hole luxury golf course in Scottsdale, Arizona green. But the true, absolute genius of Pica isn't merely how they water their crops. The magic lies in what they are growing, and how those specific plants physically alter the atmosphere around them. The undisputed king of this oasis is the Limón de Pica, or the Pica lemon. It is a highly specific, aggressively acidic, and incredibly aromatic variety of citrus. It is so culturally and economically vital to South America that in the year 2010, the Chilean government officially granted the Pica lemon a denomination of origin certification. This means, legally, a Pica lemon can only be called a Pica lemon if it is grown right here in this exact desert soil, exactly the same way France fiercely protects the naming rights of true champagne. But these fruit trees are not just cash crops. They are highly effective engines of biological terraforming. By planting massive, dense clusters of lemon, mango, and guava trees side by side, The farmers of Pica manipulated a core law of thermodynamics, the albedo effect. Out in the open Atacama, the blazing solar radiation slams into the light-colored sand and reflects straight back up, essentially baking the air from both the top and the bottom. But inside the oasis, the thick, dark green, interlocking canopy of the fruit trees acts as a massive biological heat shield. They absorb the solar radiation and cast a permanent, dense shadow over the desert floor, actively plummeting the ground temperature by an astonishing 30 degrees Fahrenheit compared to the sand just 50 feet away. And it gets even crazier. As these millions of leaves photosynthesize, they constantly release microscopic amounts of water vapor into the air through a biological process known as evapotranspiration. When you pack thousands of these trees tightly together, they are essentially sweating in unison. This collective transpiration physically engineers a localized microclimate. It creates an invisible, pressurized dome of high humidity that hovers directly over the orchards. This microatmospheric shield actively fights back against the violently dry desert winds, preventing the air inside the oasis from being sucked dry. The trees are literally protecting each other. Furthermore, as leaves and rotting fruit fall to the ground, they decompose, rapidly injecting rich carbon and organic matter into the sterile, toxic sand. Over decades, this has transformed dead dirt into dark, sponge-like soil that traps and holds moisture even longer. They have created a self-reinforcing, perpetual loop of life in the middle of a graveyard. And this brings us to the ultimate, awe-inspiring payoff. Because of this flawless, unified system, respecting the ancient groundwater, utilizing laser-precise micro-irrigation, and deploying canopy-driven microclimate engineering, the Pica Oasis hasn't merely survived the wrath of the Atacama Desert, it is actively conquering it. Satellite imagery from space provides undeniable, hard proof. Over the last few decades, the vegetative footprint of Pica has expanded. It is literally pushing the desert backward. Today, this impossible green dot sustains a booming, highly lucrative local economy. It produces thousands of tons of premium, world-class fruit every single year. It has become a premier destination for ecotourism, drawing visitors from across the globe who want to swim in its natural hot springs and walk through a literal jungle while completely surrounded by the most brutal, unforgiving terrain on planet Earth. What is happening right now in northern Chile is so much more than just a cool geographical fun fact. It is a vital, urgent blueprint for the survival of humanity. Right now, as our global climate rapidly shifts, we are seeing the terrifying expansion of deserts across Africa, the Middle East, and even the American West. Megadroughts are threatening the water security of tens of millions of people. The instinct is to panic or to abandon the land. But Pica proves that the desert does not always win. It is living, breathing proof that with a deep, scientific understanding of geology, absolute discipline in how we manage our resources, and a profound respect for the physics of nature, we don't have to retreat. We can stand our ground in the harshest conditions imaginable, plant a seed in the dust, and engineer our own miracles. If you were amazed by how Pica hacked the desert, you have absolutely got to see what they are doing in the Middle East. Click this video right here on your screen to discover how an entire country engineered a massive network of desalination plants to turn the freezing, salty ocean into a multi-billion-dollar freshwater empire. It is an engineering marvel you have to see to believe. Click the video right now, and I'll see you over there.